Hello, hello. You're watching Trending with the Tennessee Tribune. I'm Ashley Northington, the agency director and founder at DENOR Brands and Public Relations. I'm here on behalf of the Tennessee Tribune with Mr. George G.T. Thomas, who is a candidate for Senate seat District 19. We're here to learn more about the candidates running for office so that you can be informed about the issues that matter to you most. So let's jump right in. Mr. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us today, and please introduce yourselves to the Trending with Tennessee Tribune viewers and let us know why you're running for this Senate seat.
First of all, I want to say thank you to the founder, Ms. Northington, for inviting me to participate in this opportunity to express my passion for the Senate District 19, and to Ms. Rosetta Millie Perry,
Yes.
one of the pillars of Nashville, and one who speaks her mind and speaks the truth. And
She
with
definitely
that,
speaks her minds.
I'm here as an advocate to meet many of the unmet needs of District 19. I've lived in District 19 for over 27 years, and I'm running to put people first. And put people first means families got to be first, and we need to involve families in the political process. I believe that one person can make a difference, and everyone should try. And with that, over the last 20 years, I worked in public education, working with rural and public high schools to make sure that high school students graduate, but not only that they graduate from high school, that they attend college, and that they have mentors from the public and private sector that can help them navigate through the collegiate experience so they can figure out ultimately how to earn their own money and pay their own way. My sustained effort, my perseverance, and my I'd rather give out than give up on what I believe in mentality makes me an idealistic candidate to meet, I guess again, many of the unmet needs of the people and the citizens of Tennessee and District 19.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me, what do you think the biggest issue is facing the residents of District 19? And then how do you, as a state senator, plan to address that issue?
Talking to voters and talking to neighbors, education, I think it all starts with home. It all starts with making sure that we need to get back to explaining why you go to school.
Sure.
I think we have a disconnect as a culture, as a society, and just sending young people to school and not really giving them the charge. And so I was fortunate to be raised by a single mom, and my single mother told me, the best mother on earth while she was living, you're not going to that school so they can make you a better person. You're going to that school so you can make that school a better place, since you've actually attended there. And so too many people are seat warmers. They just going with the current, and when you go with the current, you find yourself riding the wrong wave. And so I've always been kind of salmon. I swim upstream, and that's worked against me sometimes, that's worked for me. But the thing about that is I'm able to speak independently, I'm able to speak my mind, and I'm able to speak truth to power, to actually fill in the gap to make sure people understand how to get involved in the political process, how to connect with people that they need to get the information from, and how to make and build the right relationship so you can actually learn how to, again, earn your own money, pay your own way. And that's like what life's about. Well, that starts at home. Knowing why you're going to school, how to get the most out of your education, and how you build relationships to sustain you and get you through.
Sure, love that. So what would you say your top priorities would be? I know education is really an important issue for you. Are there any other priorities that you think you would tackle immediately if elected?
Absolutely. I know education is a passion of mine, but when I was in high school, we had vocational education.
Sure.
And I think the new language kind of confuses what vocational ed is. I think it's not in the best interest of society when you have a young man that doesn't know how to change oil or check oil.
Sure.
Or change a tire. I think the school can provide simple services like that. through extracurricular activities or through vocational ed. I think you can do things that make education fun, like making sure that people from the industry actually, like we have principal of the day, we need to have teacher for a day, where you have teachers actually having more practical experience, so you can learn how the quadratic equation or the Pythagorean theorem
Actually relate to you in real life.
Right. And so when you have the disconnect, you don't really know what's going on. You saying
Sure.
like you can't see the forest because of the trees. You think, well, this will never get me there. This will never allow me to get the house I want,
Sure.
get out my situation. And I'm saying education should be fun, but you have to have educational goals. You have to have a plan to get there. And what I've done is in providing programs for young people to figure out how to balance out their talent with missed opportunity.
Sure.
And if you match the talent with opportunity, then you have instant growth. And so I want to bring more programs that actually allow public high school students to really figure out how to get in line with their talent and to excel not only in school but in their personal lives.
Wonderful.
And I think we need educational programs that tap into the mind. And I think nothing's wrong with athletics, but I think we need to deal more with intellectual property and intellectual capital, because that's where the real bang for your buck. Making sure that you bring out the intellectual side of people.
Sure. So, being a state senator, that means that you have to deal with a lot of planning, a lot of rule making, a lot of policy making. If you could wave a magic wand and you were elected, what would be the policy on the books today or the law on the books today that you would alter or adjust, and why?
When I was a kid, my mother was assaulted by a man. And a kid is 10 years old, a 10-year-old kid, and I felt powerless because this guy was like so big. And I didn't know anything about domestic violence, and it was not a domestic violence issue. It was an issue where the guy got upset, and his only response was rage. And his rage, he struck my mom.
No conflict resolution skills.
No conflict resolution skills. So I think we need to do something about not just mediation, but explaining the consequences early on, where when you get out of character, the profound impact that has on you. And how, like, in middle school, in elementary school, in preschool, sometimes you need to know it's wrong to hit people, regardless it's a woman or a man.
Absolutely.
And so I think when you let that slide, it snowballs and it evolves and now it's like that's what you know. That's your first line of defense.
Sure.
If somebody gives you a rejection, your immediate response is to attack.
Right.
And so you don't know how to deflect or how to, take the constructive criticism. You will not disrespect me. You will not embarrass me. And so I have to show you I'm the bigger person.
Yeah, no, I get it. Sure. So giving more people the tools to know how to resolve conflicts peacefully, and then letting them know the consequences if they don't.
And I think as a society, we don't do enough to actually make sure that people know that you have strict consequences if you cross the line.
Yeah.
And I think the penal system, as a juvenile, you get points before you get put in the system, unless you do a horrific crime as a young adult. But I think if you explain early on how to value you as a person, how to value your name as a person, and more importantly, how to actually make sure that what you're doing now has a profound impact on your life and your future. I think if you explain it in layman terms where people understand, like, what you do now can affect you in the future, if you want to have a productive future where you can have the opportunity to earn your money, pay your own way, and ride to crescendo through the free market enterprise, you need to be trained how to respect people and respect property.
Sure. So, what steps have you taken to prepare you to be a state senator?
My first step is I prayed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And praying about it, I I worked with an awesome mentor. Her name was Dr. Tommy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
She was a long-standing legislator from Hamilton County, and working with her day in and day out, she was the idealistic statesperson.
Sure.
As a statesperson, a statesman, a stateswoman, her passion was children. My passion is children. Her passion was the voices, the people who were underserved, who was left out, the last, the least.
Sure.
And so she always made sure that if there was a person that wasn't in the conversation, that was not at the table, she was advocating for that person. And your mentors kind of guide you in when you don't know which way to go. And so I've learned from Dr. Tommy Brown and many others, the Lois DeBerrys of the when she was alive,
Mm-hmm.
and Ulysses Jones when he was alive. But I learned from people to just always be able to extend your hand in camaraderie and be able to build people. And you build people by investing in them, investing in their intellectual capacity. If you show me, I understand. But if you tell me, you may confuse me. And so we want to take out the confusion. We want to involve families and people into politics. Again, I'm running because I'm a true advocate for families and putting people first, putting family first. And I want to make Nashville the it city for everybody. You can only do that by informing the populace and the electorate about how to get involved, why you need to show up, how you stay involved. Mm-hmm. And that's how we change the situation we have. I believe in term limits. I don't think you should die in office. I think you should have an opportunity to invest in people, put people first, and I think that's what makes me uniquely qualified to be the next state senator for District 19 in Nashville.
Okay. So tell me, I'm going to ask you a really hard question, and this is the hardest question I'm going to ask you, okay? Why should the voters elect you?
That was a hard question, but I'm prepared to answer the hard question. For the last 20 years, I've worked day in and day out, investing in families, investing in children, and my work has paid off because 20,000 kids have actually graduated from public high schools. Of that number, 15,000 have actually gone on to colleges across the country. These are 4-year universities, and of that number, 8,000 have actually graduated. You need to have a person who can take a fence straddler and push them to the other side of their potential, to make sure they understand the bigger picture, how to tap into the potential, and how to know that if better is possible, good is not enough. And so we want to make sure that my sustained effort, my persistence, a true advocate, making sure people understand that you need George Thomas as a change that you seek. You need George Thomas to make sure that you put people first. You need George Thomas because you need families first. I live what I'm talking about. I raise millions of dollars to invest in young people. We have support from Republicans. We have support from Democrats. I am a Democrat. Again, I need Nashville to know that I'm the right choice for 19th District. I think we should get caught up in tenure. This is not a tenure thing. This is a thing about who is the best person for the future, who's the best person to represent your family and to be your voice at the state capitol. And that's, I'm asking everybody in Nashville to get involved in the political process. Our campaign is open to all genders, all nationalities, And our word with our campaign is opportunity, because we want you to grow. And the only way to do that is to make Nashville the it city for all families. And I'm the best person to serve as the next state senator for District 19.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so people can learn more about you and your campaign at www.georgethomasusa.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. That's all we have. And thank you for watching Trending with the Tennessee Tribune.